Welcome back, everybody. We are on part 2, and that means it's time for the hot tags of the week. Some different stories and grunts and whatever, and Tim Allen's in the background. Usual kind of shit. Some interesting stuff, some important stuff, some things that aren't really that interesting or important, but whatever the fuck, let's just talk about them anyway.
Fuck, Miguel.
Oh my god! I think I just spit on my computer screen.
What the hell? That wasn't even that funny.
Yes, it was. That was hilarious.
Time Count making a rare appearance on SmackDown. All right, so let's start running down some of these hot tags here. The Layfield Report website has been shut down. Apparently, JBL and Michael Cole are going to be moving on to bigger and better things. I don't really know exactly what they're doing with that, but what do you guys think is going to happen? Is this going to be moved aside because they're going to expand their podcast stuff, or is this going to be something WWE related, or what?
Go on to podcast1.com for more and more fucking commercials.
No, I think this makes...
Right
No,
now,
go
their
ahead.
podcast has actually stopped running. They haven't had a new show on their podcast in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Hmm.
Last I heard them talking, they mentioned they were going to be doing this thing that was going to be on sort of like an NPR type deal, where it was broadcast nationally, and it was only going to be like 2 minutes long, but it was going to be kind of like a buffer between bigger radio shows that's on a big station, which was an awesome thing for them to be able to get something like that. So I don't know if that has something to do with it or what they're exactly doing, but whatever it is, seems like they've kind of just shut down all operations on all these projects. So I hope there's something out there because I liked all these things that they were doing.
Well, this just confirmed on Smack Talk. The CM Punk thing is a work.
Shut up, Drew.
Shut up, Drew.
Anybody else want to tag in?
Shut up, Drew.
Shut up, Drew.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was waiting for the laughter to die down. I don't know. Maybe they could do like some type of like videos radio type show. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show Dish Nation, where they basically show like in studio footage from other radio shows around the country. I could see them doing something like that with Cole and JBL for like the network. It would be more content for them. Give them like a little 30-minute spot where they do their show, but you actually get to see the cameras in the studio, if they have a studio, which I'm sure if WWE was going to spend money on that, they'll probably spring for, a little studio for them to work in. That'd be something. I wouldn't mind watching that.
I believe they do that all independently. The way they were talking about it is the hookup with the network that they were going to be doing was that there was already studios all across the country that they'd be able to stop into depending on wherever they are while they're traveling with WWE.
Oh, that's interesting. Like I said, I think that they're wasting potential by not doing something with Cole and JBL, because their stuff, that the online stuff they do and their podcasts get rave reviews from people. Like they really work well together.
I've never listened to their podcast, and I've actually only seen, I think, 2 episodes of the JBL and Cole show, too.
You're not missing much.
I've mostly just seen the Bad News Barrett segments, which those were actually really funny.
But I like Cole and JBL, so I don't know. It's more so a whole thing of like, I don't have enough time to listen to so many different podcasts out there, so I have to kind of just
too many podcasts.
Yeah, if you watch a lot of TV shows, you watch a lot of movies, whatever, and then podcasts kind of comes secondary to that kind of stuff. And I would much rather watch my TV shows like, Gotham and whatever, as opposed to listening to even Jericho's show or whatever like that. But I don't know.
I actually just saw the second episode of Gotham, the first episode I've ever seen, actually.
You didn't watch the first one first?
No, I had no interest, and then a friend of mine wanted to show me the second episode, and I have less interest now.
Hideo Itami and Finn Balor are expected to join the main roster quicker than a lot of most other people on NXT usually do. Most people sit there for a couple of months, maybe a year, maybe even a couple of years, like Xavier Woods, but these guys are going to get rushed to the big times pretty soon. Is that going to be a good idea or a bad one? What do you guys think?
I think for Kenta, I think he could definitely be on the main roster quicker. I mean, I think he might be the most ready out of all of them. At least he looked ready after the couple episodes of NXT. So yeah, him. I still don't fucking know who Finn Balor is. So
Prince Devitt.
Prince Devitt, yeah.
I know that. I still don't know who the fuck he is. So I don't know about him, but I think Kenta will be fine on the main roster. I think most of the crowd will know who he is too, so he should get at least a decent reaction when he gets up there.
Anyone else want to tag in?
It depends what their plans are. At the end of the day, if you don't have a plan ready for them, they're going to sink. I say keep them in developmental until you have a set goal with what you want to do with them, be it the tag team division or a couple of singles runs. But if you don't have plans for the guys, they're going to sink and sink quickly.
Rusev is going to lose to Kenta. That's going to be his first loss.
Yeah, because the Russian against America needs to lose to the fucking Japanese guy.
The big American icon, Kenta.
No, what's gonna happen is they're gonna have John Cena team up with Bad News Barrett and Kenta, and they're gonna go after the Russian. It's gonna be World War II all over again.
That'll be the new pay-per-view, World War II.
Ooh.
Might as well.
They already have the rights to World War III, so I don't know.
Then they could do War Games.
Fuck War Games.
War Games is pretty overrated, I think.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I have a feeling that they're just rushing these guys up there just to capitalize on the fact that the WWE Network's going to be debuting internationally, and that's not a good reason to bring them up. If they don't have a plan for them, I think it's going to be a situation where they're just going to end up being jobbers to the stars, and I really don't want to see that. I would love to see Kenta get a run at least towards the title. Maybe not so much the belt itself, but maybe a run, where you actually believe he can be a main event guy. Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, if they're going with the whole face paint thing that they showed with that creature face paint that he's wearing, if that's the gimmick they're going with, I really want to push that gimmick. I want them to go all out, have him be like a demon where he comes out of the ground and fire comes out like the Brood's entrance, and a gimmick like that is so over the top, but doesn't play it tongue in cheek. I'm cool with that. I could see that. I mean, we believe in we've been rooting for the Undertaker, so I could see a gimmick like that getting over on the fact that, hey, it's completely played 100% straight, but yet you get all this great wrestling. So I would love to see that happen. But if they're just going to bring them up just to bring them up, don't even bother. Just leave them there. I mean, I'd rather see Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville brought up. Those guys, to me, are ready. They're more than ready.
When do you guys think is too early to bring these up? When would you bring them up? Maybe like after WrestleMania? Before WrestleMania? Royal Rumble time? Gonna make them a part of that?
Honestly, it isn't. I don't think there's a time too early right now, just because of how fucking thin the babyface side of the roster is.
That's what I was thinking. Like, there's no baby faces, because right now I don't know who else Rusev could face other than John Cena. And same for the heels. There's not that many, top heels right now in the company as well. Because it looks like Miz isn't really going to be doing too much for too much longer.
There's a lot of people right now just doing nothing.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything with anybody. And like I said, bringing in more people, unless you have a plan to do it, don't even bother, because all you're doing is just filling the roster more with people we don't care about.
Well, there are rumors, 2 more hot tags here, that we will get some different baby faces, that Randy Orton in the next couple of months is going to turn babyface, and that Bray Wyatt might turn face now that they're going to split up the Wyatt family. The Luke Harper push is going to be a singles run, and he might stay a heel. Maybe Eric Rowan will too, but Bray Wyatt is probably going to be a babyface, as opposed to Harper or Rowan or all 3 of them. So are those good ideas, or are those mistakes that are waiting to be made, or what do you guys think about that? I personally am not a big fan of either of them turning a babyface, but if they do, I think I'd be more up for Bray Wyatt, but I don't really know, because I think what's a problem with turning them babyface is when we're in a position right now where we don't have a whole lot of faces. That's a different story than a couple months from now when they come back. If you have Dean Ambrose, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and then even like the upper mid-card kind of people, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, etc., if these are all baby faces, then we're going to get to a point around the Royal Rumble where we have no heels. And then who's going to turn? They're going to turn fucking Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose and screw that all up?
I don't know. I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't they've gone this long without turning Orton face again because he's done shit for a while now. Like, literally, there's no point for him to be a part of the Authority anymore. He does nothing. I don't know. I'm interested to see what you guys think about Bray Wyatt because I honestly don't know how they would be able to do that. But yeah,
I think it's a go ahead.
Bray Wyatt needs to be turned babyface, and that's just because he already is a babyface. He gets babyface pops. Everyone's into the gimmick, and
everyone's
into
honest,
and most
that's
people.
it.
That's all you fucking need. That's all that fucking pro wrestling is at this point.
The only thing that would change about Bray Wyatt is he's gonna wrestle heels instead of baby faces.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he already gets
So-
a babyface pop when he's saying the name of the town.
Yeah,
So that'll change.
seriously-
He'll say, "I'm here" instead of "We're here." That'll throw them all off.
And seriously though, I'd kill for Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. I think that's got a huge bunch of potential.
Really?
Just to see Brock react to that'd be a hell of a lot of fun.
You think he'd be around to react to it instead of just popping up, once before pay-per-view or something?
Well, you might as well, if you're going to turn him face, you might as well throw him in a program, and Brock needs baby faces, so I think it kills two birds with one stone.
So does Eric Rowan just kind of like disappear through all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
gotta
first,
imagine.
once
They
they're
fucked
done,
it up.
once they're done shaving his beard off and gluing it to Sheamus' fucking wriggly ass thing, I think they're just gonna release him.
Yeah,
there's-
I don't see a future in Eric Rowan.
That's unfortunate because him and Luke Harper, they should have just put the titles on them because they were at one point more over than Wyatt was.
Here's
Is
the
it
thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, all I was gonna say is I'm just surprised they still have yet to put anything on the Wyatt family, especially now that it looks like they're done with them.
Here's the thing. I don't want to see a singles run for Bray Wyatt. I think he's a great talker, but his in-ring work is just okay at best. I was not impressed by any of the matches he and Chris Jericho had. I was not impressed during the John Cena feud. I just don't think his in-ring work is good enough for him to be on a main event guy. I think he's a great personality. I just think that's all he is. And to me, if they're going to have a situation where they're going to start pushing Luke Harper, I'd rather see Bray Wyatt be Luke Harper's mouthpiece. I don't think Luke Harper is bad vocally. I think he's serviceable, but I think a guy like Bray Wyatt cutting promos for him could give Luke Harper a presence that could make him a main event, an upper mid-card star at best, because I have been impressed by Luke Harper. I think his in-ring work is actually really solid. So I'd rather have that. I mean, if you want to turn Luke Harper babyface and have Bray Wyatt be his mouthpiece, fine. I don't think he's main event quality yet. You really have to put him against an upper mid-card guy like a Dolph Ziggler or even a Sheamus for that. In terms of Randy Orton, they're really going to have to put some real heels to him, because Orton, to me, has only had one good run as a babyface, and that was, I believe it was 2009. It was the Viper era, where he came back and they tried to kind of equate him as, like, the new Steve Austin, kind of the new rebellious babyface, and that was it. I think that for this to kind of, if they're going to turn him babyface from the hardcore heel he's been, they're really going to have to put him against a strong heel that can make him look good. And I don't see, aside from Brock Lesnar, I don't see that happening. Unless their plan is to put him against Brock Lesnar, which that might work.
I think it would work. I don't know. I'm not seeing his hardcore side. He said Randy Orton's had. He's been far from hardcore.
He's been the kind of the workman of the Authority. He's been the guy out there the Authority's kind of put as their top guy. So I would say in terms of heels, I don't know. Brock Lesnar, I think, in terms of his size, probably makes him the number one heel, but I think Orton's probably a close second.
Also, he's the champion.
Yeah. I don't know. Orton, I don't know. I think they've kind of pushed Seth Rollins as, like, a working man. I mean, for the Authority, at least.
Just to backtrack on Bray Wyatt, there's also one other reason that I want him to be babyface.
The alligator?
His work rate is fucking terrible. And if he's a heel, he's in control of most of the match and leading the dance. He's going to benefit a lot more from taking the beatdowns and having the comebacks. At least that's my opinion.
Well, we had a great match with Daniel Bryan back at the beginning. Granted, it's Daniel Bryan.
It's fucking Daniel Bryan can wrestle a broomstick.
Yeah, except Bray Wyatt's kind of like John Cena when he first showed up. I guarantee you, with time, he'll get a lot better. I mean, Cena wasn't the greatest guy ever, and
Yeah,
Cena
and
actually
wasn't
puts on a
John-
good match more with most
And
people.
again, John Cena was a babyface for the good majority of his career, and he benefited from that. And I think Bray can benefit from it too. As far as Randy Orton goes, I couldn't give a fuck about him at this point. It doesn't matter what position they put him in. He gets like the beginning of his runs are normally pretty good, and then they lose track of what to do with him, and he fizzles out and has another turn.
I think they needed something with Orton kind of for the next few years to put over other guys coming up. He needs to do that Shawn Michaels or Chris Jericho type of role for the next
Yeah, I
few
wouldn't
years.
mind him being demoted to a Jericho role at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, but yeah, just they need to start putting over some new talents because Orton and Cena are not going to be around forever now.
Well, I mean, we're still having Orton versus Cena matches in 2014.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, every fucking week it seems like now.
Yeah, we might have that again at Hell in a Cell too. Fantastic.
Woohoo! Yay!
We got 2 other hot tags here. One of them is pretty big news right now for WWE with apologies and stuff. They had to apologize, or they felt like they had to apologize at the very least, for the segment on Raw where Big Show pulled down the Russian flag. Now, we didn't make a huge deal about this when we were doing the Monday Night Raw post show because we didn't really think that it was that big of a deal, but apparently a lot of people did. And, there's that whole mentality that you can't let a flag touch the ground and whatever, and WWE's like, well, we didn't think that we were going to offend anybody and we're sorry, and the typical bullshit politically correct nonsense. To me, this is kind of like, you know what, I think that kind of flag stuff is stupid as it is in real life. Like, I'm sure that there's like these real hardcore patriot nationalists or whatever like that are going to completely disagree with me, but there's people that say, the American flag touches the ground and you got to burn it and whatever.
Yeah.
And no, bullshit. It's a fucking flag.
Yeah.
I'll not only speak out against the things that I think are wrong in this country because it's kind of the point of this country, but I also am not going to make a big deal about the symbolism of a fucking flag when I know that it's just cloth.
Yeah.
Symbols mean a lot, but symbols are not the literal things. A flag fucking falls on the ground does not mean that our economy cripples. Get over it. If the Russian flag gets pulled down or whatever, it's a fucking wrestling show. We've spent months with Rusev dealing with the whole anti-America thing. Big Show does an anti-Russian thing. I don't fucking care. I really don't get why other people care either.
I
don't
understand.
think-
Well, to be fair, it only touched the mat. I mean, it didn't touch the ground. I
He
don't think it
He
did.
raises a very good point. It didn't actually touch the ground.
Yeah, but I understand when other people complain about the flag touching the ground thing. I just grew up in a family where a good amount of my family was in the military, so it's just just a respect thing, and with that kind of stuff I understand that. But I mean they got mad when I think Jericho stepped on the flag, so. Yeah, I
No, what
understand.
happened with Chris Jericho is it's against the law to disgrace the Brazilian flag, and he disgraced the Brazilian flag.
Yeah, I don't know what they. Yeah, they also didn't help he was in Brazil as well. But I mean, I mean, this isn't gonna cause rest like, oh fuck you guys, send bombs over here. But yeah, I understand where maybe some people could get upset about that. But I didn't think that it was newsworthy. As soon as I saw it, I was like, they're gonna apologize for that. But yeah, I just thought that it's not that big of a deal. So let's get over it because it touched the mat.
To me, it's kind of like the equivalent of when people say, if a woman enters the room, all the men should stand up. Or
That's so 1800s,
or
dude.
you're not
That's
allowed
so
to wear a
old.
hat inside because it's disrespectful.
Screw that.
It's like, come on. Is it really that fucking much of a problem? I don't think so.
I understand taking a hat off at the table when you're eating, but yeah, the hat off inside's stupid.
I don't get that either. It's like, when you want to wear a hat, it's not dirty to do that.
Yeah.
But why does it matter if the Russian flag falls down? We're not in fucking Russia. The Brazil thing makes more sense to me than this.
Yeah.
Because he's actually in the country doing something against the country.
Well,
Yeah.
what scientists have found about people to get upset about this stuff, where the brain is actually a big fat vagina. And
And they're sanding it, right?
yeah, and there's a lot of sand in it. So, unfortunately, because they lay on their back when they sleep, it stays in there and the sand never gets out. So, it's one of those situations. Hopefully, if they sleep on the side, they'll be fine.
What do you think about this, Peyton? Is this like blown out of proportion, or is it justified?
I think a lot of people just look for any reason to get upset these days, and that's probably what this is. Like, people just see, oh, here's something for me to throw some flags about. Oh, they made the slightest thing that could have been misconstrued as a gay joke or a fat joke or a woman-hating joke or whatever the hell it may be. Let's raise a ruckus, build some fires, make a big freaking deal out of nothing. If this was like actually in Russia, I could see people having more of a reason to be upset. If this was an American flag in America, I could see people getting upset. This was part of a story. This isn't like this was a political rally where a big show went in front of that really cool building in Russia that looks like ice cream. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know.
The Kremlin?
The what?
Kremlin?
The Gremlin?
The Kremlin.
Yeah, well, let's say you just went outside that one and just like took a giant flag and threw it on the ground and stomped on it. Like, that would be fucked up. That'd be a bad big show.
Yeah, that would have been a bad big show. He would need some guns to protect himself.
Yeah,
on that
he
one.
would have had to have brought his gun with him.
But what happened here was not that big of a deal. I'm really getting sick and tired. And you know what? WWE should just have some freaking balls and just say, deal with it. There's no reason to be apologizing for every stupid little thing someone gets offended about. Michael Cole calls Josh Matthews a faggot. Okay, yeah, maybe you should have someone try to cover that up. This is not that big.
What I love about that is everyone was brought glad to be a coal miner signs after that, though. Like, spelt like glad, like the company. I thought that was fucking great.
You know what? You know what's also the Russia thing's not the biggest deal in America right now. There's a lot worse things that people should worry about instead of a flag touching the ground. Like when Muhammad Hassan did his stuff, yeah, that made sense to like get mad at him for that. This isn't a big deal.
This is a country that like turns a blind eye to gays being fucking lynched, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're also really stupid in that we'll get upset if somebody doesn't. We'll get upset if somebody doesn't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Like our priorities are messed up in this country.
Oh no! A few years ago, there was this girl. She was like, she didn't believe in Christianity, and they let her say the Pledge of Allegiance at her school. And she, instead of one nation under God, she said one nation under law, and like everyone freaked out and like threw a hissy fit. And I think she almost got like in trouble because of it. But then the state, and then some people tweeted out Fox about this, and like they were like, "Oh, Greenfield is just full of racists and people who discriminate." And then I was like, "Yeah, we're so fucked." Like, good job, guys.
It's like their fucking panties in a bunch over the stupidest shit. Somebody sent me a message earlier today, and it was a shirt that is apparently getting a bunch of controversy now, where it says it's a pink shirt and it says "training to be Batman's wife." And
so it's a shirt you were wearing in your Facebook picture, right?
So people are like, "That's sexist. Why do you have to train to be Batman's wife? Why can't she be Batman?" And it's like, because it's Batman. Like, there's Batgirl and Batwoman out there. She wants to buy a fucking Batgirl t-shirt. She can buy a Batgirl t-shirt. I wouldn't get pissed off if there was a shirt that said "training to be Wonder Woman's husband." I don't fucking care. Like, why does everybody have to care of this little stupid shit? And, that person doesn't want to say under God. Okay, then don't say under God.
It's easier to care about stupid stuff than it is to actually care about real problems, because then you actually have to, think about stuff that makes you sad. This is stuff that you can think about that's not really sad, but you can still get angry at it. And here's the thing, though. I got to ask, did anybody really get upset about this? Because if I remember correctly, they issued this apology before anybody really even acknowledged that it happened. It was almost like they did it and was like, all right, let's just apologize because somebody's going to probably say anything. I don't remember anybody really mentioning anything about this in a negative light. It was almost a situation where no one probably would have noticed it had WWE not brought it to light.
Yeah.
And
that'd be hilarious if they purposely did that to try to get more attention.
And it's like, why would you do this? Because it's one of two things. Either they knew they were going to get upset, they were going to be doing something controversial, and they just decided, hey, let's just apologize right after it so we can kind of nip this in the bud. At which point, why even bother? Because it kind of diffuses the whole point of it all. Or B, they did it without realizing it. At which point, you've already gotten in trouble with this before. And in fact, they've been kind of pushing what they've been able to get away with. Didn't they mention that whole they made an allusion to that whole Russian flight thing that happened a few months back at, I think, Battleground, if it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've been pushing the whole jingoistic, xenophobic envelope on this, and now you decide to apologize for it. It seems like WWE wants to have their cake and eat it too with this whole thing, and that to me is it's very disingenuous.
That's
it's
the biggest question. They're going to apologize for the slightest desecration of anything Russian, but how about the past few months where Lana's just gone out there and completely shit-talked America and, like, our president and everything about it?
Well, to be fair, it's Obama.
Well, yeah. But, I said, it's having their cake and eat it too. They want to be able to do these risky in the mainstream angles to drum up heat, but they don't want to fess up to it to the mainstream because they might upset Mattel or Kmart or something. So they're like, all right, let's just apologize. To me, it slaps of what we do is fake, and I hate when that happens.
To me, they should be apologizing more for the Rusev angle than for what's happening in the Rusev angle, just because it's boring as shit. I'd rather see an apology of them be like, yeah, this Rusev guy, not as good as we were expecting. Sorry, guys. We're just going to, have him lose right now to, like, fucking, I don't know, Ziggler or something.
I'd rather have them apologize for the whole Bella thing than the Rusev thing. The Rusev thing is just a drop in the hat compared to how bad the Bellas have been, but that's neither here nor there.
We could have Vince come out at the very beginning of Raw and just go, hey, guys, I know the build-up and everything with Night of Champions really sucked. Thankfully, last week was not as bad, and we're going to continue to do that. We apologize. We're going to shake things up again. Fired a couple of writers, and...
we're not going to mention the previous Raws.
Now that we've gotten some more information about how much the previous Raws really sucked, we're not going to talk about them anymore. Here is SmackDown.
We've decided to reboot the whole franchise.
Right. Well, we have one more hot tag to talk about. This is a much more... light subject here. It's actually like ridiculously light. There are some names coming around for the Big E and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston stable, and these are ridiculous. According to some reports, what they're going to call themselves is a different combination for each grouping of the two people out of the three. So Big E and Xavier Woods is going to be Muscle Bomb. Kofi and Big E is going to be Speed Force. They haven't said what the other one is yet, but then the collection of the three of them is going to be the Smart Athletic Friends. What the fuck?
I give up.
What the fuck are they thinking?
Hey, Payton, have you got those fart noises on hand?
I think those names were so bad they killed Payton. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's actually dead.
Oh, there he is.
That was an emphatic time count. Holy shit, though. Smart Athletic Friends. This has to be a joke. Come on, right? This can't be serious.
Come on.
God, Mr. Carr. Is it serious? What's up? But really, like, could you imagine them? Justin Roberts comes out and he's like, all the times we've had like the Shield and the Wyatt family and the Authority and these like real, assertive kind of names or normal kind of names, things that aren't really crazy. Can you imagine him trying to bring out Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E and being like, their opponents weighing in at a combined weight of, 600 something pounds or whatever, the Smart Athletic Friends.
Woo, yeah. I dig it.
Come out to like Yoshitatsu's theme or something.
They're athletic.
Also, Smart Friends. That's just so bad. Like, come on. That has to be a joke. It has to be. And if it isn't, then they're purposely doing that to be stupid.
That sounds like a Croops.com's post right there.
Yeah,
I
think this is being misconstrued from a tweet that Xavier Woods put out. I didn't get any impression after reading the tweet that was what they're going to be called.
I'll laugh my ass off though if that pops up on the fucking screen.
Oh,
like they all start wearing the same matching outfits that all have SAF on there.
No. This is what's gonna happen. Vince McMahon's gonna come out and he's gonna mention how the show is now rated G, and that's gonna be their tag team name.
Well, they're big on Xavier Woods having that degree. So
I mean, why not?
they're gonna like bring these guys out, trot them in front of the kids for the big be a star promotion, and just be like, see, if you have smart athletic friends, you can do anything. Like that kind of a Captain Planet sort of situation.
Yeah, the only way this works is if they're actually superheroes.
We can bring back Hurricane.
Yeah, if they come out to the Hurricanes theme, then I'll be like, all right, they're in on their own joke.
Stand back. The smart athletic friends are coming through.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, what's funny about that is all three of them are really big in the comic books and video games. And the first thing I thought of when I had heard Smart Athletic Friends was, oh my god, this sounds like the Super Friends. So this
know-
actually might be a reference to that. They might be trying to go for something sort of on
You know,
the comic
if
book
they
side.
all came out with masks and capes, I'd be all right with that. I'd be like, okay, they're in on their own joke. Like I'm a geek for self-awareness, like aware humor. So if they're gonna be named the Smart Athletic Friends, if they come out with capes and masks, I'd be like, all right, okay, I'll give this a shot.
What would their superhero names be?
I don't know.
Blacker, and Blackest.
You can still call them Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. Those are kind of superhero-esque.
Well, then their secret identities are already let out.
Ooh,
Oh, no,
they
they
can take
can-
a.
No,
oh,
they
go
can.
ahead.
Here's how it is. Here's how it is. You call Big E Muscle Bomb. You call Kofi Kingston Speed Force, and then I don't know what you would call Xavier Woods, the Brain or something.
No, Professor X would be Xavier's name.
Oh,
That's a copyright issue though. They can't do
Yeah.
that.
No. I know, but they could just bring it up. Just pay off. Yes.
It could be Dr. X.
Yeah, Doctor.
Dr.
No,
X.
there is already a Dr. X.
There's
It could
He's a
be
wrestler.
He could be X Esquire.
he would
or-
be Tiger Woods.
Rated X. Oh, get it?
You know what? The more and more I think about this, I'd be okay with this team.
Yeah, because it's not the stupidest fucking name ever now. It's a name that's plausible.
Can you imagine this like superhero Kofi, superhero Big E versus Stardust and Goldust?
Okay, no, the Super Athletic Friends would be a name of a group of friends who make a force on a kid's TV show. Like, oh, we're gonna be superheroes.
What the fuck is that? Like Zapped or something? The name of that show? Zonk? Something with a fucking Z.
I have no clue.
It's a stupid ass kids show with all these like
Zoom.
ridiculous Zoom. Yeah. You know, we start doing like promos with that kind of shit, like just a bunch of random like geometric shapes in the background flying across the screen, and really excited little kids giving thumbs up and everything. Magic School Bus episodes on the middle of Raw. Why not? So that's about it, I think, for the hot tags for this week, unless anything else needs to be said.
No one cares that Layla is dating Ricky Ortiz.
Nah. Maybe Drew, since that's his roster girlfriend.
Dude, Layla is the hottest one out of all of them.
I
don't care
guess
what you
Ricky
say.
doesn't need that towel anymore.
No, Ricky doesn't. Well, Ricky, we all know Ricky, the steam boat got lucky there.
Who the fuck is he?
He's a
You know,
nobody.
really-
No, he's nobody.
Wait. Was he the dude with the big hair?
Yes.
Fuck that guy.
Wait, who's the guy with the big fucking hair now?
The guy with the big hair on ECW that wasn't Carlito.
His finisher was like a frog splash.
Yeah.
He came out.
Oh yeah, he sucked. So he got
Came out
released.
twirling the towel.
Yeah,
fuck
trying to
that guy.
rally people up, and everybody was just kind of like, no, not a chance, dude. Not happening. Not for you. He's just like, but it's a towel. Fucking clap. Yeah, that's a weird pairing, though. Layla and Ricky Ortiz. I wouldn't have seen that coming.
Why?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
you're a
could have.
racist?
What?
I said why? Because you're a racist?
No, because Ricky Ortiz hasn't been around for years. Like, I wonder why
No,
they're
I
still
think
in
I'm
contact.
going with the racism.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm not
Yeah.
the one that said black, and blacker is the name of
I
the...
said blacker, and black is. There's a difference.
That's not
That
racist.
makes a big
that's,
difference.
That's not racist. That's just stating the level of black.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Even though
Tony.
they're all pretty fucking black.
There's nothing racist about it until you make it racist. You're racist.
Exactly. It works both ways, Mango.
By the way, who's which person?
Let's see. I think Big E would be blackest because he's the most threatening out of the three. Kofi Kingston is
Now,
blacker.
that's racist right there because he's the most threatening out of the three.
Well, he's the biggest one. Dude, okay. You're gonna lose a fight to all three of them, no matter what. Which one are you gonna be like?
Just tap out, Drew.
Yeah.
I roped you in, Drew. I already got you. You don't need to keep doing it.
Abandon ship, Drew.
All right, everybody. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. We're going to call the authorities to get myself and Drew taken out of here. And
So anyway, but really though, you could just not get in a fight with them. That'd be wonderful.
and we are going to come back with the rest hold, and then after that, we are going to do our main event of the evening: fantasy booking Brock Lesnar's title reign.